The first week of Elon Musk's ownership of Twitter has been, no matter who you are, no matter what side you're on of whatever conflict you feel like you're engaged in, it's been a ride. On Tuesday, Elon tweeted that Twitter Blue is going to cost $8 a month. This was after debating with Stephen King, of all people, the cost. For users who pay the fee, you will get a blue check mark, priority in replies, mentions, and search. This one is a pretty deep conversation, but we'll get to that. Whether a public square free speech platform should prioritize users who can afford to pay. That seems like exactly the kind of concept a billionaire would come up with.
Yeah.
You'll get the ability to post long video and audio and half as many ads. I love that you don't even get the ads removed.
It's not zero. That was honestly the thing that I reacted to the most when I saw it. It's like, really? I still get ads? Come on. It's not even cheap. It's $8. That's a lot.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
I can't believe they didn't go with the relatively industry standard 5. Like for so many different things on the internet, you want a subscription for it, it's $5, $5, all over the place. And they're like, no, 8.
8.
And they give you less.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was Elon's excellent negotiation skills. He said 20, Stephen King said too much, and Elon's like, how about 8? It's like,
8.
Okay, sure. Now, this raises some serious questions, okay? So starting with the blue check mark. Well, what are we going to do about public figures who were, as far as I can tell, the reason for verification in the first place, to avoid impersonation? Twitter will apparently give them a secondary tag under their name, like state official. Now, this is really funny because by doing this, Twitter actually negates or like eliminates the prestige of the blue check mark in the first place. Now everyone's going to want a secondary tag because here's the thing, guys. Okay? You don't want some crap, stupid, like little icon that anyone can buy for $8. If you want to be like, if you want to, throw your gonads around, you want to be someone who can get special treatment without paying for it, right?
You want the exclusivity.
So nobody's going to want the $8 check mark anymore. Everyone's going to want a secondary tag now, obviously.
Except they will, because of that one that you pointed out, priority in replies, mentions, and search. That's actually huge.
I think that brands will pay for it. I think that it is extremely unlikely that regular users will pay for that.
I strongly disagree.
Do you?
I strongly disagree. I think up-and-coming creators are going to be all over that.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to have a look. I mean, up-and-coming creators spend a lot more than $8 a month on equipment for Twitch streaming, for example, and that's basically breaking out in Twitch streaming is basically the odds are like winning the lottery. So clearly people are willing to spend money in order to try to make it on social media. One funny result. Yeah, go ahead.
You see, oh man, I just went totally off the rail. Oh, you see articles all the time about how so many kids in North America stuff want to become YouTubers and TikTokers and whatnot when they get older. I think it's going to become one of those things where, like, everyone who starts a business, they want to go get business cards even if they don't need them. They want to go get pens with their new company name on it even if they don't need them. They want to do all those little things they feel like is the right thing that they're supposed to do.
Yep.
And I think he's trying to make the check mark become one of those things. You want to be a known person on the internet, you need a check mark. Or else you're not going to be known because you're not going to be prioritized in search, so no one's going to be able to find you.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm going to be a great test case for this because I'm not buying one. So
yeah, me either.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Notably, I am not verified already, so there's no blue check mark to take from me. I will say, though, that the LTT official handle will probably pay for Twitter Blue. We might already pay for Twitter Blue on that handle. So I'll leave that up to the social team, but that's a corporate expense. I'm not personally what, $100 a year? Are you high again? Like I can't. I can't, man.
Yeah, let me do it. I'll do a poll of what floatplane people are going to do.
Meanwhile, to demonstrate the issues with paywalling verification rather than verifying based on an actual need, like as a public service for the community on the platform, many Twitter users, both with and without check marks, have been impersonating Elon Musk. And the only funnier thing than that is how quickly they've been getting banned. This is one of my favorites. Gosh, I wish I'd left someone on staff to make sure this is me. Oh, no. All right. So that was Tuesday. On Wednesday, reports came out that Twitter might allow users to post video and put them behind a paywall. Only tweets, anyone? Essentially, Twitter's becoming even more porn than it already was. This might actually be the smartest move of all. But there is a flip side. Dang it, Luke, which one was the platform that was like basically all porn and then they banned porn and then it was dead when like Yahoo bought it? Tumblr was the one. So it's pretty clear that porn can be an enormous part of what keeps a community like a social media platform alive and vibrant. The problem with porn is that currently a big part of Twitter's business model is advertising, and advertisers, a lot of them, are super not down with porn, and the kinds that are not the kinds that you want to be scrolling past when you're sitting on the bus. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Then on.
That being said, there is a lot of it already on Twitter.
Oh yeah, oh for sure, man. I clicked on a like a trending topic that was like dismay or something like that, or disappointment, or something. It was some totally unrelated word. And one of the first pictures I saw was not quite full nude pornographic, but boy, was it close. And I'm like, I'm at work. Thankfully, I have like a private office, but that's not the kind of thing that I expect to see when I'm just idly browsing an app. Like, my kids are not allowed Twitter. No way.
Twitter is dangerous to scroll through. The amount of times that someone that I follow because like I like know this person and I think they're cool, and then they have like the 1 a.m. probably didn't mean to click on it tweets that end up showing up in mine because it's like
horny on Main,
that liked this. I'm like, I don't want to know that you like that. I just this doesn't enhance my relationship with you in any way.
Not trying to kink shame or anything. It's just not necessary.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't need it in my Twitter feed. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if this is actually true. Can you guys, does anyone actually know if this happened? Someone said that an outgoing Twitter employee suspended Elon Musk's account on the way out. I find that kind of hard to believe because that could result in some kind of action. And we know that Twitter basically locked everyone out, then announced that there were going to be mass layoffs, then did it, and then let everyone who was being apparently it was fake. Yeah, that makes sense. I find that Conrad says it's true. Snopes debunked it though. All right, sounds like this is very much a developing conspiracy theory. All right, then Thursday, Musk directed Twitter's teams to find over $1 billion in infrastructure savings. That evening, a memo was sent internally confirming that Twitter would be laying off 50% of the staff. So you're going to do this big project and you're going to have half as many people to do it. Let's go! Employees took to Slack to bid their farewells, and this morning, employees were notified about their job status, either by email to their official Twitter email or by email to their personal email. And that should give you some idea which email the message came to, whether you were still going to be working at Twitter or whether you were not anymore. The departments affected appear to include product trust and safety, policy, communications, tweet curation, ethical AI, data science, research, machine learning, social good, accessibility, and even certain core engineering teams. In an FAQ, impacted employees were told if they sign a release all claims document, they'll get 1 month of base pay severance. But then Elon just tweeted that everyone was offered 3 months of severance. Also, there's a class action that's going on already that former Twitter employees are signing on to because terminating in the state of California with less than 60 days of notice is actually not allowed. So it's going to be Elon versus California, round 65.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Something that I think is pretty interesting is, and I sent Linus some stuff on this earlier in the week, but it wasn't just Twitter that has had like massive recent layoffs, and there's been lots of other ones. But I think on one day, like 4 or 5 different companies laid off between 10 and 20% of their staff, and then Twitter also laid off 50% of their staff. The amount of skilled, experienced developers that are flooding the market with job applications is going to be a very interesting thing to witness. Yeah. But also something that I think is going to be kind of interesting is the impact on service companies. Something that has become a massive business is becoming a service company that can provide a slightly better experience that can save almost any amount of time for developers. There's tons of different things out there. And when many tens of thousands of them are fired in the span of a few months, I wonder what's happening to those companies. And I wonder if a lot of those companies are going to have to fire people. And this whole thing is just going to turn into a cyclical nightmare. Because, yeah, a lot of subscriptions are getting canceled, I'm pretty sure, right now.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, the recession has been looming for some time. Some domino has to be the first to fall, and the tech sector has been taking an absolute pummeling for the entire year. I personally am not as affected by it. I don't have investments in any tech stocks other than Framework, right? So, okay. And that's not even a publicly traded company. So I have no idea what that investment is actually worth day to day. You can't like open up your phone and be nauseated by watching your, entire net worth drop by 4% one day. It just doesn't really work like that. Speaking of which, Nvidia is having a good day today. So is Coinbase, of all people. Snap is down again, but that's nothing new.
That's how that works.
I do track it just to kind of, have some idea what's going on, but
it's interesting.
I'm not affected by it. But I will be more broadly. How many of you guys watching? Okay, a bunch of you are going to lie, but I'm sure there are people watching right now that are only watching the WAN show because they're not busy at work at Twitter. Like, I'm serious. It's a huge part. Like, it's always hilarious to me when I walk into like a software company and try to go anywhere, right? Like if I walk into a Google office, never mind like the YouTube staff that are actually, supposed to be escorting me and stuff, but just like random people will pop out of cubicles and be like, I know that voice. Like it's a huge part of our audience. So the impact on our business could be enormous, right? So and as soon as it impacts us, well, all of a sudden, you can see how this belt tightening, right? It just rolls down the hill until all of a sudden everyone has tight belts. Maybe they could get a new one, lttstore.com. I'm actually wearing a prototype LTT belt. It's just a belt, but like
an interesting bit too is like
it's quality.
Traditionally, if an absolute massive ton of skilled developers rolled into the job market all at the same time, it wouldn't even matter because there's companies that are trying to hire basically as aggressively as possible at all points in time. So all these people just get scooped up right away. But a lot of corporations right now, if they're not doing layoffs, they're very likely freezing incoming employees. So they're not hiring.
And there's new graduates. The graduates don't stop coming.
Yep.
We saw this in the pharmacy, in the BC pharmacy market shortly after Yvonne graduated. She went straight out of school into a management position for Costco. And like 2 years later, like 2 classes after her, basically people were like shipping out to tiny towns of a couple thousand residents in order to find any kind of possible work. Like it happens overnight because there's this push and pull effect, right? So you pump out more graduates, and then demand is met. And then, wages are suppressed, and then people don't really go into these programs. And then you run out of new graduates, and it's like, oh no, now there's some people retiring. And then all of a sudden, wages go up, and people enroll, and they over-enroll. And then, it's like it's a cyclical thing, right? And so it looks like we're heading into a pretty rough cycle. Pretty rough cycle.
Including for Twitter, because that poll might as well be completed at this point, and 4% of people said that they were going to get Twitter Blue.
Oof,
which is honestly slightly higher than I expected.
That's a yikes. That's a yikes right there. Still, if 4% of the users on Twitter bought Twitter Blue, I mean, that would be a revenue source. We just have to hope that it'll outweigh the advertisers that they might tick off with their only tweets, paid video posts.
Well, didn't he say something? I don't know if it's in the doc, but I think he said something about a pretty massive amount of advertisers literally already leaving the platform. Yeah. I think Twitter's revenue has seen a noticeable decrease already by like a double-digit percentage.
Cool. I mean, yeah, with how... One of the things advertisers like, left-wing, right-wing, tech or farming equipment, whatever, right? Okay, a thing that advertisers like is that the platforms and publications that they work with have consistency and stability. And right now, no matter what my leanings were, religious, political, or, whatever else, right? Like pick a hot button topic and let's say, that, one side or the other. What I would not like is the amount of upheaval that I've seen on the platform in just the short week that Elon's been in charge. And this is not one of our discussion questions, but this is something that I want to pivot to, is how terrifying is it? I actually didn't realize until the whole, meta investment fiasco, just Zuckerberg wanting to spend like tens of billions of dollars a year on the metaverse, even though his investors hate it. I didn't actually realize until I was digging into some articles about that he owns 55% of the voting shares of Facebook. I didn't realize he was the sole monarch of Facebook. I thought, yeah, public company, he's probably sold off a significant amount of it, and he has, but the voting shares are still held majority by Mark Zuckerberg. So think about this for a minute. Between Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, basically the entire text-based social media mainstream social media ecosystem is completely controlled by two billionaires.
I mean, if you include TV and radio, doesn't it just make it 3 billionaires?
Well, no, because you've got Murdoch, and you've got
Murdoch.
Yeah, Bezos owns the Washington Post. No matter which side you're on, right? That's bad. That's terrible. It's unacceptable. We're in trouble. For real.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Bloomberg is another one people mentioned.
Also, I found the exact quote. He said, Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers. Massive drop in revenue. Sounds a little spooky considering it's only been 1 week.
Yeah, that explains why he's trying to get apparently this Twitter Blue thing with the verified users rolled out by like Monday. That's going to be pretty tough given that you're not even able to get access to your office with your badge, I think, until Monday. So, good luck with that. Oh man.